Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jennifer. You can also call me Jen. So on this channel, we talk about finances, career, and also we do lifestyle vlogs. And so if you want to see more of that and if you enjoy that type of content, please make sure that you join us by clicking that red subscribe button on the bottom. And also give this video a big thumbs up because it does help with the YouTube algorithm. And also just want to say thank you to each and everyone that has joined us lately. The family has been growing and I'm loving it. Thank you so much. I do hope that you enjoy it here and that you stick around. I do hope that you stick around. So on today's video, we're going to be looking at black tax. I did get a comment in one of my videos asking if I am affected by black tax, and my thoughts around black tax. And I thought, what, eventually I would like to do a video regarding this because I'm just going to share with you my thoughts and also if I do encounter black tax with my family and how to set boundaries. And so if you want to hear more about that, please stay tuned. Okay, Feb, let us get into it. So first thing that I just wanted to talk about is, do I believe, or maybe let's just say, what is black tax? But I think majority of us, we know what is black tax. So black tax basically is you having to be responsible for your family. So it can be your extended family or it can be your direct family, but having some financial responsibility towards your family and your family expecting you to actually help out, So that is basically black tax. And I honestly think that other cultures actually do face this thing. And so us calling it black tax, it kind of put a bad connotation around it as if we are the only ones that actually have this responsibility on our shoulders. But I do know that with Caucasian people, they don't have this. They don't have this responsibility because I feel like for their parents, they raise their kids up to be able to stand on their own so that they can now be able as parents to just focus on themselves. And so they don't expect their children to come back and help them, support them and help other siblings and all the stuff, So that's a different culture altogether. But with other cultures, I do think that there is the thing of having to be responsible for your family members, having to be responsible at home and help out once in a while. But for us as black people, I think that is not going to go away for a long time because if you remember very well, for black people, our parents were not given the same opportunities as other cultures. And so I don't really want to say, I don't want to compare them to other cultures. That's why I'm saying with Caucasians, they raise their kids to stand on their own. That's because they've had an upper advantage when it comes to life. They have had better opportunities, better access to things than our black parents, because our black parents, they didn't have the same access to education. They didn't have the same access to the job environment. There are certain jobs that they couldn't do, even if they do have that education, they will have to prove and work very hard to prove their worthiness for certain positions. And so many of them many of our parents don't come from well-off families or well-off backgrounds. And so you find that we are the first generation. If you were born after 1990, you're basically the first generation that actually had the chance of better access to services, better access to education and jobs. And so when you start working, it is expected of you that you are going to help out at home so that you can bring up your siblings along with you and also bring your family up with you so that you can walk this journey, so that you can all be well off most. I don't think that it's right for anyone that now that you are well off, your family has sacrificed so much of you, you are well off, you don't care about them. You prefer to be the only one in your family to be well off while your siblings and your family is just struggling. That is not right. That's not right. So it brings me to this point. Do I believe in black tax? I don't like to call it black tax, but I do think that as a black child, I do have some sort of a responsibility towards my family. I'm not forced. It's something that just comes naturally. Now, I feel like when you start calling it black tax is when you feel like you are forced, and also it's something that doesn't come naturally to you to help out at home. You feel like it's not your responsibility. You shouldn't be doing that. And there's nothing wrong with that. We have different personalities. But for me, I've always felt I like helping, especially when it comes to my family, but I also don't like to be taken advantage of. And so I don't call it black tax. I don't believe that it's black tax. I do know that I can't just be alone well off. Doesn't look right. It doesn't sound right because I come from a family. I have siblings. So it's my responsibility to pick them up along with me. However, it is not my responsibility to motivate anyone. It is not my responsibility to give anyone drive, to tell someone this is what you should be doing. For me, I believe that you should know by yourself what do you want for your life and where do you intend on going. And then if you need help along the way, I will be there to help you where my resources can reach. If my resources can't reach that far, I'll make it clear that they can't reach that far. But as I said, it is not my responsibility to then baby anyone. I'm not going to baby my siblings. I'm not going to baby anyone in order for me to try and help them, to pick them up and be, where I am or even better than where I am. It is their responsibility to see that, because even for me, I got lucky to get the funding from government. But that funding from government, I wouldn't have got it if I didn't have drive, if I wasn't clear about where I saw myself, if I wasn't clear about what I wanted my life to look like. And so I had to work hard at school and pass very well. And then I had to put my applications out there. Then when they were out there and I got that NSFAS, I actually had to work hard to make sure that I don't lose it. Like, I pass my modules. I do very well at school. So that is what I'm trying to say is, it's not my responsibility to baby anyone. Show the intention and the drive, and then I'll be there. So I feel like with many families, it's the same thing, where if you show that you are serious about life, then they're going to be there to assist you. And so I don't regard that as black tax. I just regard it as responsibility, caring as well, caring about your family members. And so that is my connotation when it comes to all this thing, and also my thinking. But there are instances where certain people are expected, like it is expected. Like even your parents will tell you and will remind you that this month you didn't send money, Haibo, you didn't pay for your siblings' school fees, like all those things. For me, I feel like that is just pushing it too far, because at the end of the day, we also have to think that, okay, as much as I have a responsibility towards my siblings or towards my family, but at the end of the day, we also need to look at how far can my resources stretch. What if in that month I'm really struggling myself and I can't afford to do a lot of things for myself? How am I able to then stretch and help out someone else? If your family can't understand those things, then that is, high expectations, and it's just not right. That is not right, which brings me to the next point, which is the importance of setting boundaries. Now, with my family, I've set clear boundaries. I didn't spell them out loud. But however, whenever there's a situation where I'm expected to do something or someone needs me to do something, I will make it clear. I will make my thoughts clear. I'll make my thoughts clear so that next time you will know. So one of them is, if you come to me and ask for money, you can't come to me and ask for money before payday or after payday, and expecting that you want it now. You can't do that, because I set a budget, and I set my budget early on in the month. And so I had to communicate it very clear that, okay, if you need my help, what is that help? Is it school? Is it this? But it had to be something that is tangible for me to actually include you in my budget. That is me setting boundaries. And so every month, now I know that, okay, I have a category of of a member of my family in my budget, and I help them this way. And it's always there, because why? I made it clear at the beginning that you can't come to me before payday, because you know when I get paid. And I hate that. I hate people like that who will wait close to payday because they know that you're getting paid on this day, and then they will come asking you for money. I don't like that, because basically what they're telling me is that I always have money waiting around for them. And that is not the case, So I make my boundaries clear that way. And so whenever someone comes to me and borrows money, after my payday, after I've gotten paid, I've used the money. And even if I haven't used the money, it is budgeted for. It has things that it has to attend to. And then you come and ask for money. That honestly pisses me off, because I feel like you are not being thoughtful. For you, basically what you are saying is that your problems are much bigger than my issues, are much bigger than my responsibilities. Now I have to forego whatever that I needed to do in order to assist you. I don't like that. So that's me drawing boundaries. That is me actually making my boundaries very clear. That I don't appreciate that don't do that. And so I would say that if you come from a family that is like that, if you come from a family where they expect you to help out, there is nothing wrong with helping out. However, setting boundaries is very important so that you can maintain your sanity. And also make sure that I'm not taken advantage of, is to say that if you need something, tell me early on before I actually set my budget. And so that means that beginning of the month, tell me so that I can plan for it. Because I also plan for everything in my life. I don't just wake up and say, oops, I'm doing this. Oops, I'm buying this. Oops, I'm getting this. I don't do that. I plan for everything. And I would expect that people will also be thoughtful of that. But people are not like that, because they don't plan. Either way, I make my boundaries very clear, and I would really suggest that you do the same. Make your boundaries very clear so that you can avoid anyone taking advantage of you, and that people can be thoughtful. Every time when they think of asking money from you, they'll be thoughtful. And one of the things is, the boundaries that I have is that I don't borrow out money, because I also don't borrow money from people. I don't know when last I borrowed money from someone. I don't know when last I did that. And so I also don't expect people to borrow money from me. I don't like it when someone borrows money from me, because if I don't have it, now I have to explain myself. And I don't like explaining myself when it comes to money. And so even with my family, even if it's my I don't have aunts, but let's say my mother's side of the family, they come and borrow money. I've made it clear to them. They are way older, like they're literally like my mother, close to my mother's age. But I've made it very clear to them that I don't lend out money. If you come to me and you need help, make it clear what do you need from me? And then I would plan for it. And then I'm going to give you that money. I'm not borrowing you. I'm giving it to you with a clean heart. Because I know that the moment I say I'm lending you this money, I'm borrowing you this money, I'm not going to get it back. And then it's going to cause friction, and I'm not going to be happy with you. And then when I'm not happy with you, and then it's into like situation, we are family. The last thing I want is to fight with my family over money. I don't want to be waiting around waiting for you to pay me. Now, if I give you this money from the bottom of my heart and I tell you that I don't expect it back and you bring it back, gladly I'm going to welcome it back. However, I don't want to tell my psyche that I'm borrowing you this money, because when I don't get it back, then it's going to be a fight. And I don't like that. I don't want that. And so that's one of my boundaries also with my family. I don't borrow out money. And so when someone comes and say they borrow, the only person that I will borrow money is my younger sister. And that's because with her, we have an understanding. I know for a fact that if I give her money, if I give her 200 Rand today, when she gets paid, on top of the stock file that we play with her, she's going to pay me. And the reason why is because we've had that working relationship for a while, and she does have a job, and so I know that she can pay me back. But now imagine a family member that doesn't work coming and borrowing money from you. Where are they expecting to get money to pay you? After they've used it, where are they going to get money to pay you? No way. And so you're gonna go and borrow those people money, And also even the ones that actually do have jobs and they borrow money, there are people who just have a bad habit of not paying. And so what I do is I will tell you, I'm giving you this money, but Nakona, it doesn't, if it's a lot of money, I'm not gonna just give it to you. I'll rather say I don't have. Like, once the money is more than 500, don't count me. Don't count me. Don't think that I'm gonna dig deep in my pocket and take money that is over 500 to give to you because you are borrowing it and you have a need. I'm sorry, Nama, I have a need. I'm sorry. Nami, I have a need. If your need was that serious, you would have went out and found a job. If you have a job, you would have been serious and budgeted for that need. And so don't budget with me. There's also another thing that I make very clear. I don't budget with me because I also don't budget with people. I don't plan my finances around people. I don't. So why budget with me? So that is how I draw out boundaries. That is how I set my boundaries. That is how I protect myself and my sanity and my finances. Because honestly, if uzophika with family, I can just tell you now, if you are going to continue allowing your family to play with you, take advantage of you, not have boundaries, you're not going to get anywhere in life. You're not, because every time you're going to be working, saving and doing all these things, your family is going to be there taking. And every time you're going to be working backwards. The last point that I wanted to talk about is how do I manage helping out at home, but also still managing my own, maintaining my own standard of living. And I think I've touched on this point that for me, you come to me before I budget. So if, let's say, for instance, you come to me now, I've gotten paid, I haven't done my budget. So it's easy. I'll just tell you, I don't have it now, but for next month, I'll make provisions for it. And so that's when I'm actually going to include you in my budget because I want to make it easy for myself. So even if a person can come to me now and say, I'm hungry, I'm sorry, but I don't have the money. I don't have the money to help you. And so what I'm going to do is, next time when I get paid, I will make provisions for you to actually help you out. So that next time when you buy food, it's much bigger than what it was before. So I know it may sound heartless that someone may come to me and say, I'm hungry now. And then I say, I'm going to see you next. I say, I'm going to see you next month. But if I don't have it, where am I supposed to get it? Am I supposed to tap into my emergency to help you? No, because I know the people that I'm dealing with. And so those are just the ways that I protect myself. And as I said, I don't really believe in black tax because it sounds very negative. I do believe in helping out at home, but also making provisions for it. You can't come to me, and expect that I'm just going to help. You can't do that. And I'm going to call you out when you do that. Those are my thoughts when it comes to black tax. That is where I stand when it comes to helping out. And I would really, really encourage you that if you come from a family where they expect you to help out, that do help out. There's nothing wrong with helping out. Don't be selfish. Don't. Because the more that you help out at home and your mother and your father saying, thank you, mtanami, nkosi kubusise, do know that your paths are opening. It may not open now, but your paths are opening. Like when I look at my life, I'm not a person that goes to church. I don't give out, what is this? What do they call it? Show me in church. I don't tithe. I tithe in my family. I tithe with my family. And that's where my blessings lie. Because I know every time when I'm helping with my family and my family says, Nkosi kubusise mtanami, that is opening doors for me. But at the same time, as I'm helping out, I make sure that no one is taking advantage of me. So that when I'm giving that person, I'm helping that person, I'm doing it with a clean heart. And that is how I'm able to attract blessing upon my life. That is how I'm able to open, that's how doors open upon my life. Because whenever I'm helping out, I'm doing it with a clean heart. I'm not doing it with ukhuluma. Angifuni imali elandelwa. I don't like imali elandelwa ukhuluma. So that is how I'm like when I look at my life and how my life has been moving. It hasn't been of I don't like to take pride too much of it, but what I know is that it is through all the small actions that I've taken in my life, that I continue to take, to help out, to assist with my clean heart, that when my family, when my mother says "Nkosi kubusise mntanami," it honestly does exactly that in my life. And then when certain things happen, I'm like, I don't know how that happened. And then I always go back and say, it is all your good deeds. It is all you helping out. So what I'm trying to say here is help out when there's a need to help out. Just make sure that no one is using you by setting clear boundaries, ne? So that when you do help out, you help out with a clean heart, an open heart. But don't look at it as black tax. Unless now there's a high expectation that you must do this, that even when you are struggling, people are expecting you to actually assist without being thoughtful of your resources, then you can call it black tax. Then you can look at it in a negative way. However, if it's just your family asking you to help out once in a while, there's nothing wrong with that. Do that because you are opening doors for you. You are also getting blessings for you. Because if you didn't know, blessings don't only they are not only in churches. There are so many blessings that are with our parents. So many blessings that are with our parents. And so we need to tap into those. And the way that we tap into those is by helping with an open heart, a clean heart, but also making sure that you don't get taken advantage of. I'll keep saying that because there's a fine line between responsibility and being used. There's a fine line in between. And you need to make sure that you make yours clear. So with that being said, I'm going to close off this video here and say thank you so much for watching. I do hope that this video was insightful and helpful, and that you're going to take this along as you go along in your life. Most important lessons from this video, guys, is help out, but don't be taken advantage of. Stop borrowing money and stop lending out money. If you got all those 4 lessons, then you're going to be good. But if you didn't, I do hope that you come back and watch this video again, because one day it's going to help you in your life. And so with that being said, until I see you on the next one, please take care and stay safe. Bye.